It's everyone's favorite day. You heard that right. Everyone's favorite day. It's Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, get that money. Payday Friday. It's Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, get that money. Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, get that money. Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, get that money. Payday Friday. It's Payday Friday. Payday Friday. Payday Friday. It's Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, get that money, Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, Payday Friday. Get that money, get that money, get that money, Payday Friday. Payday Friday. It's Payday Friday. Payday Friday! Payday Friday!
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. What is going on, my little consumers? Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to a specialty episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where, as you heard from the intro song, it is, in fact, a Payday Friday. I hope you are ready for the weekend. I hope you crushed it this week. I hope you are ready to really close it on a solid high note. We did hit a new all-time high yesterday. We hit a new all-time high the day before that. We've been making some money day over day over day. And let's see if we can conclude the week exactly where we know we can. So we're going to crush the market today. We're going to do a Payday Friday. We're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to get married. We're going to have a divorce. We might get into a polyamorous type of relationship. You never know what the show is really going to behold. So don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be getting into all of that. And I have two crazy stories to share with all of you today. Two. Count them up. One, two. Two crazy stories. I'm going to share one now, and then later in the day, when I forget to do it, someone should remind me, be like, hey, Matt, don't you have a second crazy story to share with us? So even though I'm a calm, cool, collected individual, like right now, if you look at me, I know many of you are thinking, man, that's a guy who he has his life together. He has something figured out the rest of us haven't figured out. And I get that that's the energy that I really like radiate. Like that's my aura, like just a dude who has his shit figured out. But on the inside, it is much, much different. Mere minutes before I had to hit the live button, as you can tell, I'm standing at a standing desk, because I read once that it's healthier for you rather than sitting all day. So I bought myself a standing desk. So as you can imagine, at my 5'10" structure, the desk is, I don't know, belly button level, which means there's a lot of room underneath. And this morning, I can't really see my door. The entry to my studio is like right through this monitor that I'm pointing out. And I know the angles are getting a little funky, but just take my word for it. There's a giant monitor in front of my face right here. And on the other side of this monitor is the door. So it's completely blocked from my vision because it's a vertical monitor. So that's a long-winded way for me to say, I don't know if someone's coming in or out of my door. And I especially don't know if a small little apartment panther is coming in. So as I was standing, as I was psyching myself up and telling myself my mantra of like, they're more afraid of you than you are of them. Like, just if you get nervous when publicly speaking, picture everyone in the audience in their underwear. I was going through my normal morning setup, and due to this mental focus, I really was not able to tell that there was a little apartment panther sprinting into my door. And then she did what could only be described as a hardcore off of my thighs. So she sprinted in here. She leapt off of my thighs into all of the cords that connect my computer, my lights, my monitor, my internet, and she just landed in a pile of cords. Like this was easy, a yard and a yard half, like springboard type of gymnastics maneuver. So she did that, landed on the cords, and just everything went dark. I got the audio, that connection lost. One monitor went dark, a light, and I didn't know. She just landed in all these cords. And that was, around 8:45, 8:50, where I'm supposed to go live to hang out with you, all my digital internet friends. And then, now, I don't want to be bombastic. I don't think it's necessarily always useful from a narrative standpoint to have such hyperbolic statements. But, folks, when I tell you, she then left the room just enough to stop, sit, and look over her shoulder with such a just direct fuck you look in her eyes. She knew what she did. She absolutely, like, if she was at the point in her life to know what the middle finger was, she would have given me the middle finger. She ran right out just to know that she saw me right away in a brief moment of panic and looked back and just looked at the destruction that she caused. She knew what she was doing. She intentionally did it. And she did it literally right knowing that I have a show. I'm the person who puts the kibble on her bowl for her. I not only physically do it, I literally also buy it. So in a double sense, she's biting the hand that feeds her. And it honestly reminds me so much of the mantra of the Joker, where it's just like, why are you doing this? And some people, some apartment cougars, just literally are doing what they can to see the world burn. That's it. There's no other motive beyond that. Some people just like to let chaos ensue. And that's exactly what happened to me this morning. So I just wanted to share that. I think it might have a large impact on the market today. I'm not really sure, but I figured I might as well share it just to be safe and cover all my bases with all of you. But I do have another wild story that please remind me later on today to tell you that. But we do have some prep work just to get ready for the world's largest casino today. So on that particular note, let me show you what's going on. The SPY looking pretty good. Right into close yesterday. The last 10 minutes were absolutely absurd. Not only did we get this god green candle, but we continued to push higher and higher and higher, obviously making new all-time highs. We didn't make new all-time highs in the tech sector, but man, oh man, did we have a nice push ending the day in the green, where it spent most of the day in the red. And there's just a ton of opportunity. Meta, sorry about that. I don't know if anyone heard, but I just sneezed, so I'm sorry for interrupting the show. But anyway, Meta, as soon as I started the show, taking a bit of a hit, but looking pretty strong. So I'll be looking for that one to come back throughout the day today. I'll check if there's any news. Palantir looking good, Qualcomm looking good, Rumble looking good, Netflix looking good, Coinbase even pushing above 300, MSTR taking a bit more of a hit, Nvidia looking good, Microsoft looking good. There's a lot of opportunity right now. And if you see the update videos every single day after the market closes, basically Sunday to Thursday, I kind of prep you up for the next day of the main one that I've been watching. And I've been ringing the bell of Meta for quite a while. And then everyone in the Discord knows where my other swing positions are. So right now, it looks like we're going to get paid pretty handsomely this morning, but obviously fingers crossed. Let's see how the market actually opens. Stock futures slipped, but major averages on track for second positive week in a row. So if you're wondering what's driving this pre-market movement, it really does relate to our friends across the other pond in Japan. Japan hikes rates, solidifying exit from rock bottom borrowing costs. So they jacked up their interest rates by 0.25%. Now remember, their monetary policy and really even their economy is in a very drastically different situation than the US. So they've instituted for the longest time yield control. So they were controlling their actual yield curve. And really it's set up, it is fascinating from an economic standpoint. And I get that. I'm telling you this with absolutely awesome goggles on, and we're going to go into the casino today, but they are in like very different. It's a deflationary economy and they're trying to fight out of that. And for the longest time, their stock market didn't hit a new all-time high. We're talking in excess of 3 decades. It finally did now that they're kind of abandoning their whole process of controlling their own yield curve. So big changes coming out of Japan, which really does have interesting implications on the USD yen pairing. It has interesting on the yen carry trade, where people like to park it just to get their interest payments. So from a larger level global macroeconomic standpoint, this is something to pay attention to. I know Forex trading is massively popular in some communities. I don't see too many people in our community necessarily doing it. But if there's more and more desire to like directly get into it, talk about it, give thoughts and opinions, let me know. But obviously, you guys get to run the show. Bringing it back here to the U.S., Trump would, quote unquote, rather not put tariffs on China, maintains threats. So the D-Day date for all of this U.S. Trump tariff talk is February 1st. So basically, the major people to pay attention to, the top three are Canada, Mexico, neighbors to the north, to the south, and then our neighbors kind of really far to the east or west, depending on which way you travel, but China. But I also want to throw in there, don't forget that he's been pretty outspoken in his willingness to come down on the EU as well. So if I were to throw in a fourth candidate to pay attention of where these tariffs going to go or not go, that's who you have to pay attention to. The reason the EU is so low with respect to being a trade partner, the other three we trade with a lot more. Our top trade partners are actually, really, it's Mexico, followed by Canada, followed by China, and then down the list, you're going to have the EU. But we're going to find out. I don't want to make any conjectures here. If I had to guess, my knee jerk, and remember, we all have an opinion, we know how much that's worth, I have a feeling that the other countries are going to capitulate before the tariffs are actually implemented. That's just my thought, because really we are playing with all the cards. So I think Trump is very serious about it. And if they don't, I think he's just going to start tariffing them. And then we end up winning whatever months or maybe years down the line anyway. So that's my guess. But this is something to pay attention to, especially next week, because February 1st, once again, that's the date that you have to have circled. But on top of that, on next Friday, a week from today, we have the PCE report. 2 days before that, we have the FOMC decision. So, and also a massive amount of earnings. So next week is going to be the week where things like, you think this week is haywire? Man, oh man, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because next week's going to get even more crazy. So the yuan climbs after Trump says he would rather not have to use China tariff plan. So that is a little bit of the Forex implication, but I very strongly believe this week is just the dress rehearsal, and next week's going to get even crazier. In the world of, I guess, other very impactful things, moving on from Forex to a little bit of energy, black gold, Trump's return to OPEC politics complicates oil talks next week. So this is going to meet on February 3rd. So yes, if you're a Forex trader next week, and really even this week's been crazy, but also add energy traders. So basically there are many, many industries and we'll call them departments of the market. I mean, we know crypto's already been ripping. The overall market's already been ripping. We know energy's going a bit crazy right now with the whole drill baby drill. We know Forex is going nuts. We know monetary policy is going nuts. So right now this is a plethora of opportunity. Folks, it does not get much better than this with respect to opportunities. New scum. Remember that video where he like freaked out? He's like, yeah, in middle school, people used to call me new scum, and I didn't care then, and I definitely don't care now as a grown man. And I'm just bringing up this randomly in an interview to prove to you how much I don't care. That's what happens when you're the governor of California, is you just get to pop off and say crazy things, and I guess that's exactly where he's at. But anyway, new scum faces Trump showdown over aid, immigration, and insult. Now that this is like the real deal, now that the world is accepting, not only was Trump elected for his second term, but he's in office. He's not playing around. It is very interesting to see how Newsom in the past, 48 to 72 hours, is similar to Sam Altman of OpenAI, unwillingly bending the knee to the new king. It is very, very interesting to see certain people who talk such a tough game about a month ago, and then if you look at their rhetoric now, it is literally exactly the opposite. So this is what's going to happen in California. He's going to come there, and they're going to be best buddies, and we all know it's just because Newsom is going to be forced to bend the knee, obviously. With respect to the market today, there's really no major macroeconomic events. There are some things to pay attention to. At 9:45, 15 minutes into the trading day, we're going to get the manufacturing and services PMI number. So PMI coming out. And then also at 10 a.m., we're going to get existing home sales. Those are the two things scheduled today. But really all the excitement is going to be next week. Actually, let me give you a quick preview. So new home sales, you get consumer confidence on Tuesday. That's a big one. The huge one of next week is the interest rate decision for the U.S. Then we get GDP numbers on Thursday. Then we get inflation numbers PCE, the inflation that allegedly the Fed cares more about, the PCE versus the CPI, that comes out on Friday. So pretty much every single day of next week has something pretty big going on. But I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like every single day, there is something going on. And that also extends into the world of individual earnings. So next week, I know many of you are now paying attention to SoFi, so I wanted to call that out for all the SoFi fans in here. And I have to admit it, I wish I got into it. The price action's looking good. The trend's looking good. The risk reward setup was there, and I just missed the opportunity myself. But hey, you can't get that mad. Anyway, SoFi coming out on Monday. That's the earnings. Then on Tuesday, we have Boeing. And then on Wednesday, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, ASML, Lam Research, IBM, huge day, followed by another huge day of Apple, Intel, and Southwest, UPS. And then on Friday, we have some more of the energy plays such as Phillips 66 and Chevron. So you could tell, obviously, Wednesday and Thursday of next week, not only are we going to get the FOMC decision on Wednesday, we have all these companies reporting. And then on Thursday, we have Apple and Intel going into Friday where we have the inflation report. And then Tuesday, we have consumer confidence. So next week is going to be absolutely wild. Make sure you're a member of Locals right here, because I'm going to put this all in the newsletter. You could get this for free. You never have to pay for this. If you are just a member, and remember, membership on Locals is 100% free. It's always been free, always will be free. You're going to get this newsletter that's going to have all this information. So you're not going to have to go back and find it yourself. Kind of a one-stop shop. Just so you guys know, the link to that's in the description of the videos to get that newsletter. We've been talking about all these industries that are looking super, super good. David Sachs, he's a member of the All In podcast. He was a part of the PayPal Mafia, and now he is the crypto czar, quote unquote. Basically, he's a part of the Trump team. This is a little bit of a lengthy clip, which is why I've been ripping through everything. It is worth it. There's a lot of good information in here. I know many members of the audience are not only supportive of crypto in a general sense, but you're probably paying attention to what these new crypto executive orders are. They touched on a lot of different things in this interview. I do think it is imperative to listen. So let's just give this a quick little rip.
The man the president says is the man. David, thank you for joining us, first of all. Second of all, is this promises made, promises kept? Because Donald Trump said on July 27th that he would stop federal agencies from targeting the crypto industry. He made good on that promise today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, President Trump campaigned to be the first crypto president. He gave a now famous speech in Nashville where he described how he was going to change the regulatory environment for crypto. And he has now acted on that promise. He signed this executive order today. He's directed our working group to produce a regulatory framework that's going to encourage innovation in crypto in the United States, keeping the industry onshore rather than driving it offshore, which is what was happening under the Biden administration.
I want to get to that framework in just a second. First, the executive order halts what President Trump calls aggressive enforcement actions and overreach. What is he talking about there?
Yeah, well, Edward, for the last 4 years, the Biden administration has basically prosecuted and persecuted crypto companies, really driving them offshore. I've heard so many outrageous stories by founders, by entrepreneurs. The Biden administration would not tell them what the rules of the road were, and they would then get prosecuted. And what the industry wants more than anything else is regulatory clarity. They're saying, just tell us what the rules are, we will abide by them. And the Biden administration would never do that. And because of that, all the innovation was basically moving offshore, and America was about to lose this technology of the future. And we want that innovation happening here in the United States, and I think it now will happen in the United States because President Trump has declared that the U.S. must be the crypto capital of the world.
So it creates this working group that you will chair. What will you be looking for, and what type of guidelines are you looking to put out?
Yeah, so a few areas. So number one, market structure. We need to define what is a security, what's a commodity, what's a digital asset or collectible. So there's a few different categories here. So defining the market structure is important. Second area is stable coins. I think stable coins are a really interesting area. It gives us the opportunity to extend the dollar's dominance internationally. We can basically create a digital dollar that people all over the world will use. And then the third area that we're going to look at is we're evaluating this national stockpile for digital assets. We haven't created it yet, but we're going to study that issue.
So looking at the stockpile, haven't made the decision to go forward? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yeah, we're going to evaluate that. We have not decided to do it yet. But we need to study that.
Which is a big update from yesterday. Right when the market was closing, I don't know, somewhere in Power Hour, there was this big announcement of, okay, they're stockpiling. And that was reported by multiple outlets. And now they're kind of saying, well, we're examining it, but we're not definitively doing it, which is why you might be like, okay, yesterday when it was announced, I have the question myself is why is crypto not ripping right now? And that's why, because a mere minutes after it was being reported, you have the crypto czar, David Sachs, saying, no, we might do it, but it's not definitively a done deal at this moment in time.
Is crypto an asset or a currency then?
Well, when you're talking about digital assets, it can be multiple things. I mean, you've got digital assets that are securities, you've got digital assets that are commodities, you've got digital assets that are collectibles like NFTs or meme coins. So, you're talking about a whole vast area of innovation. And so digital assets can be a number of different things. And that's why you need a clear regulatory framework that says, which areas are which. What are the definitions? And that's what founders need. Founders just need clarity around those definitions. They need to know what the rules of the road are so that they can abide by those rules and be confident that if they succeed in the United States, they're not going to get arbitrarily prosecuted.
Which was the main argument against Gary Gensler. This is why Gary Gensler, one of many reasons why he was one of the worst SEC chairmen we ever had with relation to the world of crypto. He was more than happy to run around with the power that he had, threaten people, but yet when everyone said, just tell us the rules. We want to follow the rules. And he's like, well, I actually don't know the rules, so I'm just going to assume that you're going to be breaking the rules even though they're undefined. And it's honestly what led to some of the crazy stuff, specifically FTX. FTX, if you look at how that all happened, a lot of the blame should be pointed at Gary Gensler. Now, of course, Sam Bankman-Fried, he was the actual perpetrator, but he was able to get away with it for so long because Gary Gensler refused to do anything about it, which led to other somewhat crazy stuff, such as the whole Celsius thing, the Luna thing, 3AC, Voyager, BlockFi. The list goes on and on and on because we were just sitting there with an administration that enabled basically just a person asleep at the wheel who was doing absolutely nothing. And when he chose to do something, he just made clearly the wrong decision time after time after time. So with this, I do appreciate this rhetoric. Now, obviously, it's one thing to talk the talk, and it's going to take time to see if we're walking the walk. But that's what the crypto industry, they're begging for it. They are saying, dude, just tell us the rules. We would love to follow the rules and the laws. We just need the rules, laws, and regulation to know what in the world is going on.
So how far is the U.S. behind, do you believe, the rest of the world, and how fast will this help catch up?
We're going to catch up really fast. I mean, the innovation was starting to move offshore. There are places like Singapore, even places in Europe that were ahead of us. But now I think it's going to change very fast. Really, if you look at Silicon Valley and the technology industry in general, the U.S. leads in virtually every category, and crypto is one of the few exceptions. And I think that's going to be very, very quickly rectified because of President Trump's executive order today.
I want to get your take on the Trump coin, which started right before he took office. Are you concerned about a conflict of interest there?
I don't think so. I think the Trump coin is a collectible. Like I mentioned, there's different categories of digital assets. That's a collectible. It's like a baseball card or a stamp. People buy it because
that's
they
probably
want to
the
commemorate
best
something.
Explanation of what's going on.
So
it's a collectible.
This is just my personal opinion. I'm not a regulator, but my personal opinion is that it's totally fine.
So this executive order bans agencies from developing a central bank digital currency. Why is that?
Well, CBDCs are a real threat to freedom and liberty. What you're talking about there is moving to a central bank digital currency that would be run out of Washington by the Fed and would basically gradually replace cash and catalog everybody's transactions. And it could lead to new laws and dictates about how people spend their money. So I think people are very concerned that that could be an Orwellian path to go down. No one wants to go down that path. And I think we can create stable coins, basically digital dollars, without doing that. So the executive order is really clear. We want to create a regulatory framework for stable coins, but we don't want to go down the path of CBDCs.
But a digital currency for a government could be competition to Bitcoin. Did that play into that decision? Well,
I mean, any government can create a stable coin. So, but I think the U.S. Dollar is already the world's reserve currency. So I'm not really worried about competition there. I just want to extend, or I believe that what we should be doing is extending the dollar's dominance into digital areas, extend it online. And I think that could actually create trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries. It could be really useful to us in basically supporting our debt and also bringing down long-term interest rates.
David, in the last 30 seconds we have, you are also the AI, the artificial intelligence czar. The executive order was signed on that, making U.S. the capital of artificial intelligence. What does that mean going forward?
Well, like the president said at Davos today, we want to be number one. We want to be the global capital in artificial intelligence as well as crypto. These are two areas that are absolutely vital for the future. They're both cutting edge technologies. The Biden administration had passed this 100-plus page EO of burdensome regulation. It was just unnecessarily cumbersome. The industry hated it. They were complaining about it. President Trump promised to rescind that Biden EO. He's done that now, and we're going to replace it with something much better.
Taking the gloves off, we'll see, and we'll see what.
There you go. So that is David Sachs, the administration's crypto czar, AI czar, touching on many different subjects, all very important to us, not only in understanding where the direction of the administration, obviously related to these two particular worlds, is going, but also in the short term, the really explaining some of the opportunity, more so on the crypto side, but obviously touching on the AI a little bit. I do want to share what's going on in the past two update videos. Oh, shout out to you guys. It seems like the daily update videos that we're pushing out after the market closes, obviously both to Rumble and YouTube, seems like you guys are really, really enjoying that. So obviously from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my producer's heart, the fact that you guys are showing so much love for those, seriously, thank you. And obviously, if there's things that you want included in those that we don't have already, or if there's things being included that you don't want to see, just let me know. Like reach out to me, talk to me, DM me on Twitter, talk to Chaos here in chat. But seriously, we were just talking about it yesterday. It seems like it's kind of like a whole new chapter of content that we've been creating, and the reception of it, I just wanted to say thank you. I really, really do. So shout out to all you guys who have been checking those videos out. The constructive criticism, obviously, we are just here trying to make the most entertaining, best content we possibly can that you guys thoroughly enjoy. So any thoughts, comments, suggestions of how it could be improved, reach out to me, reach out to Chaos. He's right here in chat. I just wanted to say thank you. But anyway, I just wanted to cover this today because in the past two update videos, we talked about how Elon was clearly pissed off about this whole Stargate project, the $500 billion going into AI infrastructure, associated with Sam Altman of OpenAI, associated with Ariel Ellison of Oracle, associated with Masa Son of SoftBank. And his particular issue is with OpenAI and some of the stuff that Sam Altman's pulled off. And if you look at the responses, and like I said, I more thoroughly covered this in the last two update videos, it at first seemed like Elon was just kind of being pissed off that it was left out. Like it seemed like, come on, Elon, like you don't need to win literally everything. And then the next day, it actually became a little bit more obvious of why he was so angry. So at first, it just kind of seemed like, okay, like the Zuckerberg and many other tech people and people in this world, I hate Trump, I hate Trump, I hate Trump. And then it went, oh no, I actually like him as soon as he won. Like they're just fair weather friends. They're just going with like the change of the wind. And Sam Altman kind of being accused of it in the similar way of Zuckerberg. But then it became evident that it was way worse. Like as literally as recently as a month ago, he was funding publications that actively go against Trump. This was like, yeah, if you like look at his Twitter history, circa 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, actively saying he doesn't like Trump, trying to get Trump out of our office, will work against Trump. It's like, okay, like whatever. And then literally a month ago, still funding players such as Axios, actively writing basically hit pieces on Trump. And then 2 days ago, yesterday, whatever it was, he tweeted out, he's like, yeah, no, like, sorry, I fell trapped to like the whole NPC thing like everyone else, my bad. And like literally just saying that after getting a huge financial windfall from what in the world is going on with Project Stargate. So with it, I don't think we've heard the last of it. I think Elon will actively spend a lot of his own personal time, energy, and resources to get Trump to realize that this dude on the screen has always actively been against him, and he's only playing the part of a friend at this moment in time just because he knows that's where the money is. OpenAI's $500 billion Stargate dream is running on hopes and hot air. Sam Altman's grand plan to build Stargate, a $500 billion AI infrastructure exclusively for OpenAI, is already falling apart before it even starts. This could get crazy because if it does get completely destroyed, which I don't think it'll get that bad, it could be a huge impact to Microsoft because Microsoft is a big equity owner. But there might be an angle here for Anthropic, for Grok, for another AI player to be like, hey, no, we'll do this Stargate thing. And especially if Trump realizes that maybe some of these other players were more supporters for longer, and because Sam Altman was not only not a supporter, but he actively worked against Trump. And this is getting into the world of, I guess, just random conjecture, but Trump doesn't really strike me as a guy who like forgets easily. I think he does have the capacity to forgive, but he's definitely not going to forget. Anyway, where were we? There's no secured funding, no government support, no detailed plan, and according to insiders, not even a clear structure. One source blatantly admitted they haven't figured out the structure, they haven't figured out the financing, and they don't have the money committed. The only one that is like clear that they had the money is really the statement that I covered in yesterday's update video from the CEO of Microsoft. He's like, dude, I have 80 bill. I'm Microsoft. Like, don't waste my time asking me if I have money. But the other players, a little bit more questionable. Altman's pitch, SoftBank and OpenAI will toss him $15 billion each, and then just hope the rest magically appear from investors and debt. So this is a little bit confusing because SoftBank, according to Elon Musk, remember SoftBank is Moss's son. He was involved with the whole WeWork debacle, lost a lot of money there. But anyway, SoftBank was saying, hey, we'll put in $10 billion, and then Elon popped off saying, I have it on good authority. They don't have the dinero, mi amigo. From someone obsessed with making AI smarter than humans, maybe he should try getting the basics right first, like not creating something could destroy all of humanity, just saying. So this is all being reported from the Financial Times. Obviously, they are following up from Elon Musk right here. Stargate has not yet secured the funding it requires. So when I made that first update video of the drama between Trump and Elon Musk, like I said, Elon's going to be Elon. He didn't come off really in the best light at first, but now that more information's coming out, we're just in another situation where, surprise, surprise, it looks like Elon was right again. So just wanted to share all that because I don't think this is the last we've heard about the Stargate drama. Anyway, yesterday in the Discord on the premium I sold, I made $1.2 thousand following Piper. Here's the proof of it. Obviously, feel free to check it out. The first month is free with that code Goonie when you sign up for locals. And even if you don't want to be a supporter, which is a premium member, if you just want to be a member, you're going to get these newsletters anyway. And I do want to remind you that the seasonality of today does favor the bulls, which is pretty awesome. And even though the market is literally about to open, today is a payday Friday. So sign up, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. This is being sponsored by Vanquish, the best sim-defunded options trading platform. So that's what we're going to be ripping it on today. And on that note, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is now open. Best luck all, play responsibly, and if not, have fun. So if you're wondering, golly. If you're wondering why Microsoft is taking a hit out of the gate, it's because of the Stargate drama. Remember, if things fall apart for OpenAI, Microsoft takes a hit because they are a huge equity investor in OpenAI. So there's a little bit of drama leading the price action on Microsoft. Obviously, I know Microsoft is much more than just OpenAI, but remember, in the short term, this is what people react to. It's a much more emotion-driven than anything else. I do want to toot my own horn because I rarely get these call-outs right, but once in a while I do, and I just want to call it out. 2 update videos ago, I said, hey, prime candidate for a trade into the conclusion of this week is Meta. Meta just hit a new all-time high. So that's my way of saying you're welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. I hope you crushed it. I'm going to continue to ride it. I'm in it myself. Looks like already out of the gate, the SPY and the Qs, they did open above their high value from yesterday, but already getting their downside gap fill. So that play already playing out very, very quickly. Microsoft getting hit, like I alluded to, most likely related to this Stargate project. Why did they just not call it Project Stargate? Why? Why did they name something? It feels like a personal affront to me. They're like, let's make it like slightly awkward and kind of backwards of what it should be. So when the world's worst trading show streamer says it, we're just going to make a mess up every single time. It honestly feels like they sat there and spent a lot of their own time thinking, what can we do to kind of embarrass Matt? Like, that's exactly how it feels. And I fell for it every single time. Right? Like, am I losing my mind here that it feels like they're personally going against me when, like, by making it such an awkward name? They're like, dude, we're going to really trip up that Kohrs kid. We're really going to trip up the best trader on this side of the Mississippi. This is what I'm saying, dude. Everyone in the world is just, they're waiting feverishly the anticipation of just wanting me to take one misstep. And I hope they're not holding their breath, because at this point they've asphyxiated themselves. But like, just, dude, there's large forces, absolute large forces at play that just want me to not be as dominant as I absolutely am. You're crazy. No, Carl, you're crazy. But I do congratulate you on the proper use of your, because for some reason on the interwebs these days, everyone messes it up. So you're not crazy because of grammar. You're grammar. You're not crazy because of grammar. You're crazy because you called me crazy. And it takes one to know one. Bet you didn't see that one coming up. Dustin Bell, pull up the options flow. You know, if I wasn't in such a good mood, I'd say, you're not my mom. You can't tell me what to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because like I said, I'm in a pretty good freaking mood. S&P 500 long and strong. Mag 7 a little choppy. Pop gave it back, now flat. So kind of when it comes to the world of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla, indecisive. S&P 500 dip for about the first 90 seconds, and then it's pushing. So let's just wait. Teach me something. Teach you something. All right. What is something cool that I could teach you right now? What is something cool that I could teach you right now? I found out recently that the color purple isn't actually a color in the physical world. So if you remember back in high school when we all took physics, we know that a color is associated with a certain wavelength. And if you look at the wavelength of purple, it should be obviously in between red and blue. It's the mixture of that. But really, in the world of wavelengths, in the physical world, that middle point is actually green. So when we're seeing the color purple, what we're actually seeing is not purple, but it's our brain's interpretation of not green. It's actually the inverse of green. So that's a little bit of a crazy thing. That's a little bit of a mind fuck right there. That literally whenever we think we're seeing purple, it's our brain is going haywire of seeing not green. Isn't that wild? I don't know. I don't know if that relates to the market today, but I did want to share it with all of you. I thought it was cool. Captain Condor is back today. I see someone asking. Captain Condor has gotten his ass handed to him for the past 2 days. So we talked about the key levels for the past 2 days in a row. Wednesday and Thursday of this week, Captain Condor was blown to smithereens on the call side of the Iron Condor for 2 days in a row. And he is coming back, and he's just doing classic martingale. Every single time Captain Condor loses, he's playing bigger. He's just playing bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can see now, look at the size of this position. 52,000 contracts. This dude took his sack out in public and put it on the trading desk. And if he gets blown out today, the estimated loss is around $8 million, even if he's blown out on one side. So Captain Condor, I think losing in the realm of like 2 million, then 4 million. So 2 million on Wednesday, roughly, these are rough numbers, 4 million yesterday. If Captain Condor gets blown out again, this is an $8 million hit, bringing the total to, what would that be? 14 million in 3 days. Oh my Lord. Captain Condor, you're watching 6140 and you're watching 6090. So Captain Condor is on his knees praying to the market gods that we stay in between these levels today. But I have a feeling that the Trump pump is about to annihilate him, about to completely destroy him. We're already popping here, folks. I believe, I was going to say, I believe my stuff is already trading. It looks like, are these short positions? Yeah, 2 of Skynet is now short, I guess, on the morning puke. I'm not the most comfortable with that, like, at all. When did they go short? Well, that one didn't go short. Oh, it went short right when it broke down below VWAP. So it was a VWAP short play. Well, that's not, I don't like that. I would much prefer it just take long positions today, but whatever. I will be trading my own account. So right here, these bottom 3, I'm letting the Skynet trade for me. And then the top 20 is obviously what I will be trading right here, which I did cover that yesterday with all of you. I did get my third full max payout of another $40,000 from Apex. So 2K from each account. I have 20 accounts, 2K times 20. That is where I'm getting the 40. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe Skynet does know something I don't. The Qs try to get going, but cannot seem to really hold the closing value and the high value from yesterday. Let's check that options flow. S&P 500 is long and strong. Mag 7 is choppy. So it's not as bearish in the open as we've seen from the past 2 days, which is a little bit of a breather, but it's I see that price is going down on the Qs, clearly lower highs and lower lows, but the options market is actually just choppy. It's indecisive, which is telling me that, okay, if this is choppy, less weak than it's been over the past 2 days, and then the S&P 500 is strong, as soon as the Mag 7 can catch a bid, I want to see people getting into calls. I want to see the orange and the green start popping up. As soon as that happens, I think we are off to the races. That is the opportunity I'm personally looking for this morning. As we're waiting for that opportunity, I don't know if it'll come. I don't know when it'll come. I'm just letting you know that is the setup I'm looking for, because I see the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30 minute, and the 4 hour on the S&P 500, all green. Price action is positive following the trend. If you look at the NASDAQ, this is that test. So you have the 30 minute and the 4 hour that's green, 5 minute broke down, 10 minute is getting hit. I want to see a quick bounce out of this. I'm looking to buy this dip. So obviously I need the confirmation. Obviously I want to buy things where they're cheap, but I'm not going to arbitrarily sit here and be like, oh, okay, like I'm clearly just meant to arbitrarily buy. No, I need that confirmation. I want to see the big players step in a certain way, the way they are right now, which means your boy needs to be paying attention. Your boy needs to be paying attention right here. Where are we at today? What is this high? Do I want to buy this breakout? All right, this is the structure I'm kind of interested in. Right here. Are the options actually picking up? SPY's going. They are. Okay. We're ripping it, brother.
Filled.
We're ripping it, brother. We're ripping it, brother. Obviously, I'm a little bit early for this breakout, but I had to act a little bit quickly just because I saw this huge pop in the Mag 7. The exact thing I told you I was looking for was and this is the double whammy. Puts are being closed, removing negative delta from the system, and then calls are being purchased, adding positive. So removing negative and adding positive simultaneously is a double win for really the markets going higher. So I'm in. The bots are still short for whatever reason, but I took a long position, and I'm going to see if I could ride this puppy. And then as I'm watching this play out, even the S&P 500 is just going to pop there. That's exactly when I should get prepped up. It's a little early for me to swing options. I try to wait those first 20 minutes of the day, especially knowing that we have PMI numbers, services and manufacturing coming out in a little bit. But where are we at? All right, let me go to SPX. We are at 25, so 6130. I can play 6130. How strong is this flow right here? All right, you know what I could do? I want the 6130s. I want these calls. All right, let's do... let's do 20 of these. All right. We got into these bad boys. All right. We're going to sell these at 7 just in case there's a pop from the announcement. $7 a pop is where, we'll do 710. Just a break over 710 on these. All right, so got these in. I know I'm trading a little bit early, but if I'm being honest, I just like the flow here. And I'm thinking that, okay, maybe there's a positive reaction to this 945. So I'll be monitoring that, paying attention. Microsoft, nice recovery. Meta continuing to push higher and higher. Looks like Vanquish is already going. Come on, let's lock this in. Like I said, Vanquish is the sponsor of today's Payday Friday. Around 10:30 this morning, we're going to be having 5 competitors going for 3 different prop accounts from Vanquish. Remember, sim defunded, best way to do it if you're an options trader is Vanquish. So we're giving away 3 of those accounts and $150 of cold hard cash. That's going down at 10:30. We're going to pick 1 random competitor off of Rumble, 1 off of YouTube, 3 off of locals. The Rumble and YouTube competitors will be selected in real time. But if you want to be represented by locals,
filled.
What the fuck was that? Oh, we're going. We're going. We're going. Did this hit? Almost hit. Come on. We're getting close. We're getting close. $1,000. Lock it in, brother. It flashed 710 for a second. I just didn't get my fill. The order's in there. 7. It's at 7. It's at 690. Come on. Keep it going. Keep it going, Tonto. You could do it. It flashed it for a second. There must not have been enough liquidity there or aggression. We're back to 7. I saw 7. Like I said, my order is sitting at 710. Just trying to make a nice, cool $1,000 on this trade. 690. I like it. Keep it pushing. Keep 7. 10 more cents, brother. Nope. 10 cents the other way. 696. 692. Like I said, 7. Lock it in. 1 more push. 1 more baby push. How's the options flow looking? Options flow, nice pop up there. A little bit of profit taking right now. Mag 7
Order
holding.
filled.
Oh, and now we're dropping. What just happened there? The Qs just got smoked at 9:43. Remember, there are in 60 seconds. This is your 60-second alert at 9:45. In less than 1 minute, we are going to be getting. There's going to be a quick hit to volatility. Like vol is going to, there's an announcement and people in the short term are going to be reacting. But I need to watch this. Did I get it yet? 650? Nope. It gave it all back to break even basically right now. It was so close. It was so incredibly close. So incredibly close. Come on. You can do it, Qs. Hold on. Even actually that pop, it made me go back to right to break even. Unfortunately, it forced me back to break even. I should be paying attention. I just need a pop right at 9:45. We have 5 seconds. Let's see if I'm going to get lucky. Let's see if luck is on my side today. There we go. That is what I am talking about.
Order filled.
That is what I'm talking about, team. Did it hit? Bada boom, $1,500 locked in. Shout out to Vanquish. You could trade with their money on the options market. Check it out. Don't forget to use that code Goonie to get a 10% discount. They are the partner today, but you just saw this 1.5K locked in, and we're seeing if we can catch a runner here. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to get greedy. We're just putting in the target.
Submitted.
We're putting in the target. Let's see if we can lock in a quick 20K. You know, just a quick 20K amongst friends. Let's go. I like that. Dude, Lady Luck and I, we get along so well. Honestly, dude, Lady Luck and I are like this recently. Like we hang out, we have a good time, we go out for some brunch dates. Dude, Lady Luck and I have each other on speed dial, brother. A lot of you might be sitting here and be like, Matt, is that good risk reward? You just took a bet on a binary event. Folks, don't forget, it's not a gamble if I am the market. You're saying, it would be like saying you're taking a bet on what you know you're about to do. I'm the market. I'm making the decisions. Like I'm saying, all right, dude, we're gonna pop it up. Like here, like it's not a gamble if you know what's about to happen, brother. Like that's my entire point. Yeah, maybe if I was a normal trader, not knowing how the market's gonna react, not being able to read this price action better than I could read a book, yeah, it would be a bit of a gamble. But don't forget, like it's not a gamble by definition if you know what's about to happen. Just want to throw that out there. I think that's where people get confused. Like my mom is calling me up and she's like, Matt, what's going on with this money? Are you saving? Like, why do you keep going to the casinos? Why do you keep betting on Icelandic youth soccer? Like, is that even legal? Like, why are you bullying these 12-year-olds in a rec league in Iceland when they lose you money? And it's like, dude, mom, get off my case, brother. Like, all right, I want to feel something because the market itself is too easy for me. So what if I blow 50 grand a week betting on Icelandic youth soccer? Like it's what gets my rocks off, folks. All right, I'm going to do what I want to do. And she's up my case about it. And my wife, dude, she never shuts up about it. She's always there like, Matt, why did you just Why did you just empty our kids 529? What are you doing in Atlantic City? I thought you were going to go help out at like the soup line. And I was like, listen, babe, I was going to be at the soup line helping out the local homeless, but my boy called me up and we have a once in a lifetime opportunity to make a move in AC. Like, they don't get it, man. They just don't get me. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm just an animal in the zoo, and people are they're just buying their tickets to watch the show. You know? They're just buying the tickets to watch the show, and I'm just the animal in the cage of super good looking, super smart, super affluent, rich animal. Like that's the zoo department that I'm in. And just every day people are coming in and they're like, oh, what's that absolute beast doing? That's my life, folks. I am in a glass house of my own emotions right now. It's not a phase, Mom. Do you think his wife watches the stream? His wife? I'm here. Don't talk about me as if I'm not here. Sit, if that is your real name. And if it is your real name, that's a silly name. Why would your name be a verb? That's silly. Do you think his wife? I'm the guy with the wife. That's so rude. We're in the same room and you're talking about me and I'm in the room with you. Like, I can hear you. Dude. Not cool, brother. Not freaking cool. God damn, trading is so easy for me. Like, honestly, this is what I can do in this game. I'll say it. With the new age of traders like myself, Warren Buffett is washed up, dude. Ray Dalio, these guys, see, they play it. They don't realize that the game has evolved. They're here like fucking nerds reading about economic cycles, growth, consumer strength, monetary policy, movements in the Forex market, political trades. They're here measuring those things. And yeah, granted, that might have worked. That might have worked when my great-grandparents were alive in the 1990s, brother. That might have worked in the 1980s when Aristotle was still saying, hey, brothers, we should treat the world a bit better. When Socrates was asking why in the 1970s, I get it. That's how the markets worked at one point in time. I completely understand that. The markets have changed. They're there playing pussyfoot with fundamentals and trends and whatever, fucking technical analysis. I'm here to play Russian roulette. That's what they don't get. They're here thinking we're playing chess. We're so smart. No, brother. The game's changed. I'm showing up with the revolver. I'm loading 5 of the holes and I'm spinning it. And they can't compete with that. They're scaredy cats. They don't realize that I'm now here to play the game, high-end Russian roulette. That is the stock market. That's how I engage with it. And they just don't have the sack to play with me. That's it. They don't get it. They simply don't get it. Answer my question above. You think I'm going to scroll back and read your question? Chris, seriously, ask yourself that. You legitimately think I'm going to take time out of my day to scroll back and find your question? You're a silly goose. You're an absolute silly goose with a master's degree from Silly Goose University if you think that's going to happen. Chris, you guys get this? Get a load of this clown, Chris P, thinking I know how to read. Obviously, I'm just lashing out. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to scroll back because my time's too important, when really I just don't have the emotional maturity to handle the fact that I don't know how to read. That could be it as well. What am I looking at? Matt, take your content to the next level. Chris, I'm going to shoot you straight, brother. I would scroll back and read yours, but I don't know how to read books too good. As I told you guys, I wasn't really hooked on phonics as a child. And it wasn't because my parents didn't try. It was because I was too much of a terror to like ever just listen to them and stick with it. Not liking how the SPY's taking a bit of a hit right now because I need the Qs to make a slight new all-time high. It looks like the current, or not all-time high would be sick, but the high right now is 533.59. I need it to get up to like 70. I need it to pop like 10 more cents, which, are we going to hit that? 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 Are we going to hit that?
Order filled.
Folks. What else? This is too easy for me. Like, I need a challenge in my life. This is like, oh my God, $20,000 like that. Again, you got it, dude. All I do is win. This is why President Trump's quote of "we're going to win so much you're going to get tired of winning." I'm at that point. He was right. It was prophetic, that quote. I am tired of winning. You guys probably don't enjoy watching this show because I win too easily. Like, there's no narrative here of like conquering and overcoming. Like, it's just like, oh wow, as easy as I put on my pants, Matt's making another $20,000. Like, folks, it's just I top ticket. I lock in 20K. Bam, it's a Friday. What's Matt going to do with that 20K? Is he going to keep it? No. I'm hopping on an overnight flight to get to Iceland to watch rec soccer in real time so I can place those bets. I need to feel something in my life. Folks, this is just, it's too easy. Like, I just sit here day over day and it's like, what's the next challenge? It's like, what could I possibly do? And the only thing seemingly in my life that I've never been able to like actually master is like my effort to stop crying in front of the shower. Like, just absolutely weeping in front of the mirror on a daily basis. Like, that's the one goal that I just can't seem to wrap my head around. But beyond that, when it comes to like, folks, money's not real. Like, I think the biggest way I could explain what's going on here is you guys, you still treat money like it's real, like it's an actual thing. And that's the fall off. That's the problem. That's why you guys aren't sitting here with your own show on your own anthem. Like, if there's two takeaways from today's show, it's number one, money isn't real. And number two, we can't die. That's it. Like, literally, we cannot die. I could jump off this balcony right now. I'd be A-okay. I do not believe we can die. I think people who think you can die, I think they fell for mainstream media news. Truly, I don't think you could die. Money's not real, and literally we cannot die. As soon as you accept those two axioms of life, it just becomes so much easier. It becomes so much easier. And like, I get it. There's going to be some pushback. This is going to get cut up. And I get that there's going to be pushback from people in chat of like, man, I think we can die. And let me just say one thing. Maybe you've been paying attention to too much of the news. Maybe, just maybe, you fell for another conspiracy trap to be a sheep in the system. Just saying that. Just saying that maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe if you're the same person who believes we could die, or maybe if you believe money is real, maybe you're the same. Ooh, my money gun just shot out some money. It got so excited. You know, sometimes it's a little bit of a premature money shot. You know, it all happens to us. I mean, honestly, about 30 to 40 to 50, maybe 60% of men have a little bit of a premature money gun shot. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Is like what I'm trying to say right here. Like, if you're a guy who has a money gun who pops off a little bit randomly, a little bit too early in the trading session, as mine just did, it's normal. Like, sometimes we all just get excited, and it's like, you don't have to be embarrassed about it at all. Like, I mean, I know there's like some mental tricks and this and that, but if your money gun pops off a little bit early, like, Don't be embarrassed. It's a laugh. It's a ha-ha. It's a story you could tell your boys at the gym, at the bar, just like you could tell thousands of people on the internet. But like, it happens to all of us. It honestly, it happens to all of us. You're dripping. Yeah, dude. My point is you don't have to be embarrassed, is like my major point. This guy is a real D-bag. Striker show. When I kill myself, I'm going to put you in the first line of my suicide note. When I end it all tonight, it's going to be because of you in that comment. I want you to know that. I mean, you might be the fucking title of my suicide note tonight. Chris is, whoa. I want you to know that. That's now on you, Striker Show. Fucking congratulations. The first person getting a call out in my final note. Good luck, dickhead. Live that one down. Chris C, too far, man. Dude, we're just getting started. If you think I'm going to stop there. A bunch of fucking babies. Can't joke about that. That's not funny. It actually is fucking funny. My great-great-grandchildren will know about you. All right, back to the show. This is a serious show, all right? I know that we're having a lot of laugh. Honestly, time out. Let's put a pause on this. Let's put a pause on this. I did tell you at the start of the show that it would be filled with a lot of laughing, a lot of crying. I think at one point I even said anything about maybe spinning up some polyamorous relationships. You cannot, like, from a legal standpoint, you can't be mad at me for delivering on exactly what I said I would be delivering on. I just want that thrown out there. You cannot at all be mad at me, be like, oh, wow, he's literally delivering the exact same thing he said he would be delivering on. So just want to put that out there. Striker got real quiet now. Yeah, Striker's like, fuck, what did I get into on this? All right, how's the options flow? Pop, giving it back on the S&P 500. Mag 7 did pop, gave a little bit back, but now flat. I'm just looking for this to be a higher low, and then we could pop off of it, ideally. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour strong. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour strong. SPX, new all-time high. Remember that Captain Condor is going to get screwed at 6,140, which is a little bit away, but we could totally be hitting it soon. Matt, have you had a chance to do a deeper dive into the PL numbers yet? No. And I probably won't, to be completely honest. Like, I could do like a cursory look, like just kind of a sanity check thing, but I'm not going to dedicate hours and hours to it just because like it doesn't interest me that much. I mean, it was a SPAC play that got destroyed, almost went to zero and is bouncing back. I just think there's better opportunity. So one of these days, if I have free time, I'll more than happily do like a little bit of an intro deep dive just to make sure it isn't like seemingly a complete scam. But I'm not going to dedicate like multiple hours of my life to become an expert on a company that I just don't really think is worth the time. Matt, can you go over what happened in the last 15 minutes yesterday with options, if anything, to explain teaching-wise Captain Condor have to buy back? No, he just expired out of the money. He just got blown out. In the final 15 minutes, the pop at the end of the day was just there was more aggressive buying than aggressive selling. That's what happens. Like every time there's a price movement, remember, it's just are people aggressively buying or aggressively selling? And when I say aggression, remember every single transaction has a buyer and a seller. There's no such thing as more buying than selling, more selling than buying. Remember, every single share, money goes one way and shares go the other way. Selling matches buying, buying matches selling. They're one and the same. That is volume. What is really moving the price up or down are the buyer and the seller meeting on the bid? Are they meeting on the ask, or are they meeting on the mid price, like in between the bid and the ask on the spread? So in the final, I guess, push into like market close yesterday, that was very aggressive buying. They just kept like all the liquidity that was sitting on the ask, they just kept buying and buying and buying, pushing the price higher and higher. So there was just on a relative measurement, there was much more aggressive buying than there was selling. So basically, there was sell side liquidity sitting higher and higher and higher, and the buyers just kept eating it up. And they're like, okay, you're selling, we'll buy that, and they kept buying higher and higher and higher, and that's when price goes up. But that's when price goes up at any point. Whenever you see a green bar, that's just, there's more aggressive buying than there is selling. When you see a red bar, there's more aggressive selling than there is buying. It's just, are they meeting on the bid and pushing it down and down and down, or are they meeting on the ask and putting it up and up and up? But I find, especially in the retail community, it's never explicitly explained like that. And if you go over to FinTwit, especially if you look at like just the communities of AMC or GME, they'll have you think like, that there's somehow an imbalance in between buying and selling. There is not an imbalance. Like the only way to be able to buy something is for someone to sell you something. The only way to sell something is for someone to buy it off of you. Every single buy transaction has a sell side component, a counterpart, and vice versa. What moves price is where the buyer and the seller agree on the transaction. Are they agreeing on a higher and higher price for the deal to go by, or are they agreeing on a lower and lower price for the deal to go by? Whenever you're looking at this, the market in itself is the combination of the highest willing buyer coming up and up and up, and the lowest willing seller coming down and down and down. Where the highest willing buyer and the lowest willing seller meet, that's where you are trading. So if the buyers go higher and the sellers go higher, price is going to go up. If the buyers go lower and the sellers go lower, it goes down. But you have two different counterparties, the highest willing buyer and the lowest willing seller. Where those find equilibrium, where the lowest willing seller meets the highest willing buyer, that's where you trade. That's price. That's equilibrium. That's where it is going through. So that's what we're seeing throughout the day. And I think when you take a step back to think about it in that manner, it makes sense. You're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's never really properly explained that way. I think there's a lot of confusion about what it is, what it isn't, what does that mean? And like I said, if you like open up X, you're going to see a lot of people literally at the most basic level misrepresenting what markets are. Markets, and it doesn't even relate to the stock market. This is true for the options market, the cryptos market, all of this. All markets are. The housing market, the fucking banana market in Mexico. Every single market in the world is just where the highest willing buyer meets the lowest willing seller. That is true for options, for Forex, for crypto, for stocks, for futures, for bananas in Mexico. It is literally just the highest willing buyer meeting the lowest willing seller. That's true for every single market. So there's nothing like quote unquote setting prices. It's not like the price in any market ever has to be anything. That's not how markets work. It's just, okay, if the buyers and the sellers overlap, transactions go through, and if they don't, you're just sitting there with potentially a very large spread. Don't act like you know anything about the banana market. I'm trying to learn. Like I can't sit here and say I am an expert. I can't even say I have a mediocre knowledge. I have a novice knowledge of the banana market, but I'm learning. I'm putting in the effort, unlike many of you in here. The whole market is way overvalued. No, the market is valued at what the market is valued at. That's what you're trading at. It's just price is price. I think people try to complicate it with fancy sounding things, and no, price is price. That's what it is. It is. I know we're getting philosophical, previously quoting Socrates and Aristotle, but the quote of Matt Kohrs of the day is price is price. That is reality. Now, you might have an opinion of if it's overvalued or undervalued, and you might be right, you might be wrong. But at the end of the day, the only exclusive thing, the only thing that matters is price. That's it. The price is the price. Like that in real time, that's reflecting. And we're playing this game of crunching the historic data, all the things that have played out, and we're trying to overlap it with where we think things might potentially go in the future. And are you setting up with a reasonable risk reward? But that's all it is. Overvalue, undervalued. I mean, that's like the same thing of saying a piece of art is overvalued or undervalued. Well, you might have your own thoughts on it, but what determines it is the market. So as much as people might scream from the mountaintops that like the market is overvalued and we're going to crush, well, tough fucking tits, brother. We just hit another new all-time high. So as you're like sitting there and bemoaning the fact that we're overvalued, guess what? The people making the money are the people riding the trend, and thus the market's going higher and higher and higher. So you might be able to sit there and have some sort of like kind of informed, maybe not informed, it doesn't really matter, but you might have some sort of interesting argument of saying, hey, we're overvalued, undervalued, whatever, and that's cool. That's an interesting opinion, but at the end of the day, what makes money is, were you on the right side of trend? You can't just sit there and fucking cry about the fact that, no, it's underextended, blah, blah, blah. Like, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Like, you might be an interesting guest at a cocktail party to talk about like larger macroeconomics, but who fucking cares? That's just for you to pass time. What matters is, are you going in the right direction with price? That's all that matters. Explain the 20K strategy. Oh, happily. All right, folks, well, hang on. I am waiting to take this breakout trade again on Vanquish. We are still doing the Payday Friday giveaway. So these are futures accounts, but I know many people don't want to trade futures and you're more so interested in trading options. If you want to trade options with someone else's money, Vanquish is the best place to do it. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You can click whatever plan size you want. I don't really do stocks. It's more of options. And then you pick the account size you want. When it comes to the coupon code, like let's say you do the 50K, you add it to cart. Actually, let me, well, now I have both entered, but my point is you would just use the code Goonie. So you just make sure to apply that code Goonie, and not only are you going to get 10% off, but you're actually also going to get a one free reset. So I would argue it cuts the price in half even again. But the 35 discount, that's just because I accidentally had 2 in my cart. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, use that code Goonie to get 10% off and a free reset. So just to explain the difference of what's going on. So when you see this, I'm trading options with Vanquish money. When you see this, I'm trading futures with Apex money or take profit money, just to clarify. And I do want to get ready, SPX 25, because I think another trade might be coming down the pipeline for me here. I've been trying to be patient, getting ready for a setup. Getting ready. All right, so that is ready to rock. Are we doing this now? Oh, we are starting to pop up, but Mag 7's still taking a little. Okay, I'm looking. I like how the S&P 500 is like, it got sold, popped, consolidated, seems to be breaking to the upside, so I like that. But where I'm still seeing weakness is the Mag 7. The Mag 7's been selling off since 956. So I'm looking for this to turn back around, and as soon as it does, that will be my entry signal to sling a couple more options. So just to clarify, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And is this it? Yes, it is, Tonto. All right, we're ripping it again. Where am I? I'm in at 620. So let's sell it at 720. All right. I have my sitting order in, and I'm just hoping that this little pop we saw here in options is going to follow through. More so, it's already getting faded, so maybe I was a little early. I saw this pop, and I was hoping that would be the turnaround, especially because price started to look a little interesting. I'm looking for the SPY to take out 610 once again, and I did see the Qs try to break out. So this is what I'm playing, and obviously I have well-defined risk from this low at 1005, 1006. So it is a higher risk, lower reward trade. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's what trading is. It's just taking reasonable odd plays time and time again, especially with respect to your risk to reward ratio. So I saw this bounce in the S&P 500. It looks like I was, whoa, now it's going the other way. Looks like I was a bit early on it, but who knows? Still watching the Qs right here. But anyway, coming back to my trade, this trade right here, you could see that I bought at 940. I sold at 953. So I top ticked it. I could have had a better entry. Honestly, I was just waiting for things to turn around. But you can see from 940 to 953. So this was a 13-minute trade. I caught it when trends seemed to reverse. We were above VWAP. I have some other indicators that suggested bullishness. They're on this other screen. And then I do want to admit, I didn't know this was going to be the top. If anything, I thought the market was going to keep going. I decided to get out there because it happened to be exactly $1,000 return. So that isn't some sort of big brain call out there. I was like, I know this is the top. No, I just said, where am I in at? How do I make $1,000? And I put my order there, and it just happened to overlap with the top. Like I didn't have like any like idea. I'm like, I didn't have some mathematical model that told me that we would be turning there. If anything, it could have turned a little bit earlier and then I could have been completely screwed. Instead, I just look like a genius because it looks like I got out at the top. So like, I don't know, like it looks good. And in hindsight, it seems like a great trade, but it's not like I knew that was going to be the top. I want to be very, very, very clear about that. So this was not a systematic trade. This was, as I've alluded to, I looked at the price action. I said, okay, everything's bullish. The 5 minutes seemed to be recovering. Right here was around 940. So to me, it looked like a fake out breakdown. I went over, I checked the options flow. It was bullish. I checked the options flow. At that moment in time, it was bullish. And then I was willing to take the risk reward setup. That's all it is time and time again. You should never bet on each trade working for you. So I know that if you've been following my Apex trading journey, you know that per day I've been profitable, but my hit rate is only around like 65, 70%. So I'm still losing 3 out of every 10 trades. So I try to increase my accuracy by I quote unquote get luckier when more things align. So I think that's a big aspect of when people are like, well, he's getting lucky that it went in his direction. No, I'm putting luck on my side by ensuring I'm doing my best to trade with the trend. So that's why I check the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30 minute, the 4 hour on ES. I check the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30 minute, the 4 hour on NQ. So, all right, I know price trend. And then I go over and look at options trend. So the name of the game is to stack the deck as much as you can in your favor. And then when you have a reasonable risk setup, that's when you take a stab at it and you hope it works out. But then you also have to be disciplined enough to cut it and just admit if you're wrong, because even when everything is stacked in your favor, sometimes things still go bust. That's going to happen. So even this, I see prices coming down. I actually still think it bounces. As soon as I see a little bit of a bottoming, and I thought we saw some a little bit right here, just to talk about this in real time, it seemed like it was recovering, but it was a fake out. Obviously, we just put in a slightly lower high, and then it started to dump again. But I'm just looking for some form of a bottoming formation in options, and then I think that puts in the bottom in price, and then we pop from there. So it's a waiting game. And the reason I'm still leaning bullish is because when I look at the price action, the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30 minute, the 5, the 10, the 30, it's telling me I should be bullish. But with that, I don't think you want to be ever married to one side of the trade. You shouldn't be like, I'm only taking bullish trades, I'm only taking bearish trades. No. Trade what the price is telling you. It doesn't take some sort of rocket surgeon to figure out which way price is going. I mean, there's a gazillion indicators built for exactly that. And I find the easiest ones to be exponential moving averages. You could use MACDs, you could use Bollinger Bands. Like there's so Keltner channels, simple moving averages, one of those fancy other moving averages that is not simple or exponential. They have weighted moving averages. They have trades on those. There's a ton of resources out there, a gazillion resources out there that tells you which way trend is going. So I find your quote unquote luck of like, oh, you got lucky on that trade. Your luck will dramatically increase if you're just trading with various trends. So for me personally, I look for the price action trend and I look for the options trend. And when those two things are aligning, I say, okay, that's clearly going to be my bias. And then I just wait for some sort of low risk opportunity to get in, such as like a bull flag breakout or a head and shoulders pattern, just something where I know exactly where my risk actually is. And it's something that I'm willing to accept. And then I let the die roll. And then when I let the die roll, the hardest thing in that, it's very easy to manage your winners. When you're in a trade like I was this morning and it pops up, comes down, retests, you're only at break even, then it pops, puts in a higher low, puts in a higher high, puts in a higher low. That is easy to sit there. It's very, very easy to sit on a winning trade, at least for me personally. What's hard, the difficult part of trading, I would argue, is kind of just like the admission of when you're wrong and saying, oh, like, the reason I got into this trade is now bust, and like actually getting to get yourself out of the trade. That's the tough part. I'm telling you folks, I promise you folks that your winners are going to take care of themselves. They really, really will. The difference between a good trader, or maybe not even a good trader, but like just people who are not where they want to be in trading, and then phenomenal traders, the one key thing about phenomenal traders is when things go wrong, they cut their bad positions before it has the risk of getting any worse. The one common trait across the board of people who consistently make money, and I'm not just talking about 1 month or 1 week, I'm talking year over year over year. Great, phenomenal traders have developed the discipline to get the fuck out when they need to get out. And I'm not like, even that on the profit taking side, some people are trend following, some people have like exact levels, some are following fibs, like whatever. There's a lot there. But the one consistent thing you are going to find about any successful trader is they know how to fucking get out when they're wrong. It's just, and it's such an anti-human thing as a really, this is once again a little bit philosophical, but no one wants to be wrong, which I think makes trading difficult, is because for roughly 50% of your trades, you're going to have to be like, oops, got that one wrong. The people who are net profitable time and time and time again over the large time span are the people who just can do that. They are very, very, very good at admitting they are wrong. That is like the huge psychology difference between massive winning traders and everyone else is all of those winning traders, when they are wrong, like right away, it's robotic, it's systematic, it's mechanical. They just say, nope, I was wrong. And they get out. They get out. That's how they do it. 50% are gut feeling gambles. No, they're not. Not at all. The best trader in the world was right 50% of the time. People, once again, this is something that the retail trading community gets wrong. They think for you to be profitable, you have to be right a high percentage of the time. And that is just simply not true. The best trader in the world, he was right 50.75% of the time. He was not even right 51% of the time. So Moritz, that like, I don't know who's been teaching you. I don't know where you're getting your information from. That's wrong. That is like the guy who's made $100 billion in profit, Jim Simons, running Renaissance Technologies, RIP, literally the best trader ever known to man, was not even right 51% of the time. I think people get enamored with this concept of high accuracy. And if you have a high accuracy system, congratulations. But it also most likely means when you're wrong that you take an outsized loss. Most likely your risk is asymmetrically larger than your reward. There are people in this world who are net profitable running systems that are only right 10 or 20% of the time. They're only right 1 in 10 trades. They're only right 1 in 5 trades. But when they are right, they're right so large that it pays for, and then some of those losing trades. So the real equation you want to focus on is not simply how often you're right. You want to look at how often you're right multiplied by the average win size. And then you have to take away the percentage of time you're wrong multiplied by your average loss size. So I find that in the world of trading, especially in retail trading, there is some misplaced love for this concept of like, oh, being right all the time, like right 80%, right 90%. You can be right 99% of the time and still be a net losing trader. And the basic math there would be, imagine if you have a system that when it's right, it wins $1. So you're up $99. But imagine if on the 10th time you lose 1,000. You're in the hole over $900 in this particular scenario. So that's why it's so important. So I don't understand this concept of like, oh, you need to optimize for the time you're right. I mean, obviously it'd be nice like to have a higher win rate, but that's just literally one aspect. That's like 1/4 of what you need to know in the equation of if you're profitable. And I just don't, I think a lot of people just are not understanding that. They think that somehow in the game of trading, there's, I think there's a little bit of, like this like romanticized idea that there's people out there day in and day out just making money, and they just like don't lose, and it's just like a forever money printing system. First of all, if that did exist, which it doesn't exist, you wouldn't be the fucking person knowing about it. Trust me, dude. There are rooms of there are companies out there that have literally hired hundreds of people with high-end math degrees, high-end physics degrees. There are literal companies with hundreds of the most impressive PhD, big brain nerds you have ever met. And they can't figure out a system that is forever printing money. So that means that the chance of you or some fuckface on the internet just talking about it, it doesn't exist. That it is not a real thing. It is not a real thing. What works is a trading system in the long term. That's exactly what works. The best metaphor is either blackjack or poker, and you are looking to play with an edge time and time again, and you just have to play at the proper size to overcome variance. But you're in this game for the law of large numbers, not like, oh, I could do this all the time. I could just do this all, like just win money, win money, win money, win money. It does not exist. Do not fall for it. It's just simply not a thing. And I understand when you start your trading career, due to many people acting as if that does exist, you're like, oh, okay, like it must be out there. I bet people are doing it. I bet we can like always make money. It doesn't. Matt, you are always printing money. No, I mean, I stream to you a lot of losing trades. It's just, once again, I am in net profit because I'm using a methodology that with many trades overcoming variance, it's going to be net profitable. But on any individual day, on any individual trade, my hit rate is around 65%. 2 in 3 of my trades make money. 1 in 3 of my trades do not make money. Yesterday, you saw my first 2 to 3 trades. I was down about 2 to 3K on every single account. And then obviously I got on tilt and I took a final position just betting on the Trump punt. So I oversized my position, played it huge and got right. But obviously that was a 50-50 bet, folks. Trump could have said things that caused the market to go down. Now, I thought the odds were on my side, but it was never a guarantee. But if you watch yesterday's stream, I was down, locked in, realized 2 to 3K per account, and then I just went super oversized and was sitting there and just needed the Trump pump to work out in my favor. And it did work out in my favor. Like, if you're joining this game thinking that you're just going to make money, that's not this game. This is not the game for you. The best traders are actually the best losers, the best people at taking losses. They are not the best people at continually winning and winning and winning. And I think there's such a romanticized idea with just like, oh, like, look how big of gains they have. Most of the time when people have big gains, they also have big losses. Like, the people who can survive this absolute shark-infested, vicious game of trading in the long term are literally the people who are just the best losers. And that's why, like, when even me, you guys see it, like, I'll go on tilt or something like that. And generally, it's just from not taking a good loss. The best traders are the people who take the best losses. And that is something that makes sense logically, but as soon as you can actually start replicating that, like, in life, because I think it's a very evident thing that everyone's like, okay, that logically makes sense, and there's not much of a pushback, but there's something that happens to you when you're trading that you're like, oh, okay, like, I can't do it. Like, you can't bring yourself to, like, just admit you were wrong and then reestablish, because no one wants to see red on the charts. So that's a very difficult thing. And that is the one thing that sets people apart of why only 5 to 10% of traders are net profitable, because it is a very difficult thing to actually show off in life, to actually replicate in life. It's a thing that we all understand with any amount of thought, but then to get yourself to actually do the things and to be the best loser you can be, it's a uniquely difficult thing. I don't think there's many things in this world that are as psychologically challenging and difficult as trading. And it's just because I personally believe it just innately goes against many of the things that our brains have evolved to basically be the opposite. We don't commonly want to be wrong. We don't like stressful situations. We don't like high risk situations. The characteristics you have to be a successful trader at a certain level do inherently go against how our brain is, like, literally wired, literally how they are wired. And that's why successful traders are so rare. It's such a rare breed because, like, by definition, you kind of have to be, like, in a certain way, like, almost deviate from, like, society or, like, the average person in our species, where our brains are wired to, like, actually fail at this shit. That's why having a trading pod helps. You have to be held accountable. That's an important thing. I think trading, well, it's difficult for many reasons, but, like, trading, you have to have a good sense of self-criticism, of being able to admit when you truly fucked up versus when you got unlucky versus, like, maybe luck just favored you. Maybe certain trades were, like, you just got a benefit when you necessarily shouldn't have, and maybe you still made a bad decision. I think you have to have this, like, unique ability to be truly honest with yourself. And that's a tough thing. Like, most people, the self-talk is not so honest about, like, just fucking up in life. And I think that's a tough thing, is You don't want to be overly positive. You don't want to be overly negative, because overly negative, you can put too much pressure on yourself, and maybe there's self-criticism that's not true, and then that can fuck you up. So you don't want to go extreme one way or the other. You want to just be like clearly honest with yourself. So you have to have a lot of self-accountability, and I think self-accountability is easier to have if you do have what this user was referring to as your own like trading pot of people who will tell you the truth of, was that a good trade or did you get lucky? And yeah, that I fully believe that could be helpful. Trading is a very lonely game. No, it doesn't have to be. Like we were just talking about with trading pods. I mean, there are people who literally trade as teams out there. Like they use one account, but they are trading together as a team, talking over their ideas together as a team, deciding to get in and out as a team. It doesn't have to be a lonely thing. Some people choose to do it in just a singular sense, but you don't have to. It's not like there's not like a rule like that. Matt, what do you think about WMT long term? I don't give a shit about it long term. It's Walmart. Okay. Like, it's fine. Long-term stuff is absurdly boring to talk about on the internet, because inherently, if you do or don't like it, you're going to be in it for 20 years. So you want me to make an update 20 years from now? Obviously, for the nature of content, what most people care about is active trades and active movement, something to go on, something to like develop and just keep going and going and going. Long-term investments, like, yeah, I'm not against them by any means. I think everyone should have a long-term account, but with respect to the world of content and making engaging content that people care about, who gives a shit about long-term investments? Long-term investments, go buy the S&P 500 and go back in 2 to 3 decades. That's it. The long-term investing is comically easy, folks. Like, I don't even know why we have wealth managers or financial professionals. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to every year put in money into the overall market, come back in 2 to 3 decades, and it'll most likely be, depending on when you take it out, 10 times larger. That's it. Done. Easy. Like, I like, long-term investing is comically fucking easy. You find a company that is showing great growth in a growing sector, and you pick those ones, or you don't even have to do the research. You buy the overall market index and you just wait. There is no single day in U.S. stock market history that you could pick and then fast forward 15 years and the market's lower. That does not exist. It does not exist. If you look at starting an investment account and fast forward for the times that we do have 21 years ahead, so basically this day 21 and you check every other day, on average to 8x your money, it's only taken 21 years. So when it comes to the world of long-term investing, yeah, if you want to spend your own time and research companies and find out if they're growing, or if you like the leadership and that, yeah, have at it. Congratulations. Like, you could crush it. You could be a Warren Buffett. You could be a Bill Ackman. Like, yeah, you might pick the right one for sure. Or you could literally do no research and buy the overall market and come back in a couple decades, and the odds of you being considerably higher are very high in themselves. Like, long-term investing is not, it's not hard, folks. It's not difficult. Like, you just buy and you sit there, and maybe most of your account is in the S&P 500, and then a small percentage you like certain equities, like maybe you're a Meta fan, a Palantir fan, a Qualcomm fan. Yeah, have at it. Crush it. Make money. Speaking of making money, rum is up 5%. How's the options flow? Maybe making the low here. The Mag 7 is starting to bounce. The Mag 7, even though, so we have a little bit of divergence. Price went lower, but options are actually remained higher. So this is a strong bottoming signal in my book. I would not be chasing this market to the downside. I understand fully that price took a hit from roughly somewhere between 945 and 955 up until now. But it looks like we're closer to the bottom than anything else. So I'm just going to keep watching this. But a telltale sign to me is the fact that right here, as you can see in the Mag 7, the combo of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla, even though price made a fresh low, Options did not. On the ones expired today and then all the expiration put together, we actually have a higher delta low. You could see right around 1030. So even though price continued lower at 1030, options did not agree with it, which is not a guarantee, but it is a strong signal that we are closer to the bottom than a continuation. So you just got to sit here and wait for those opportunities to present. But today is a pretty easy setup, honestly. You just look for this, see how we have this pattern of lower highs? You wait for that pattern to be broken. Like, this is really not that, I mean, from a trading perspective, we just evidently have lower highs and higher lows. Like, you just clearly have this channel. So all you have to do is, however you feel like doing your technical analysis, you wait for the channel to break out. You just have to have the patience, and then your risk is whatever the recent low is. So you have well-defined risk, you have optimal reward. You're just waiting for not only the price to potentially change trend, and when I say that, the trend is down. Look at all these fractals are just showing you the local highs. These fractals are showing you the local lows. So lower highs, lower lows, by definition, is a bearish trend, and that is going to be applied to whatever time frame you're on. Obviously, I'm on the 1 minute chart. So we see that the overall trend is to the upside. Overall trend is to the upside. The short-term trend is to the downside. That's the optimal situation. You're waiting for a short-term reversal of the medium to larger term actual trend, because that allows you to join the overall trend, but at less risk because you're getting in on the proverbial dip. So in terms of execution, you would wait for this to happen. So push, 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 giving some of it back. And then you have to sit there and just be patient and wait for that trend to potentially change. And obviously, it's your odds would increase if the options flow is doing the same thing. So you don't want to necessarily just arbitrarily buy this breakout. You would want to double check that, yeah, options agree with it. And ever since 1020, you're seeing the Mag 7 options start to pick up. So the laggard right now is the S&P 500, which is popping since 1030, but it looks like the all expiration popped, the 0 DTE didn't. So what you would be waiting for is literally what we're seeing right now. See how people are starting to buy 0 DTE calls? So I like that flow. It's showing a sign of a potential reversal. So as long as that flow continues and you get this reversal right here, I think the bulls are still in control. I want to be very clear. Chasing this breakdown at this moment is stupid. It was one idea at 10. Yeah, you're playing that breakout. Maybe you play it back to a reevaluation of the previous day's close or high. Yeah, totally get that. But to chase it short now, you're just asking for trouble. Like, you are going against not only the overall price action, but now you're starting to go against options. If you're going against options and price action, your ass is going to get handed to you. Absolutely handed to you. So be careful. Be careful, be careful. And I think by the time the SPY recaptures 610, by the time the Qs recapture 532, we'll call it 75, that would be evidently bullish. But if you're looking for a low risk way to get in, you're looking for SPX to recapture 6,100, we'll call it 17. You have a well-defined risk about 5 points away at 6,112. And then you just want to keep double checking that the options flow is favoring your position. And you have to admit if you're wrong, because you're going to be wrong. And sometimes there's just fake outs and you get reversed, and you have to be able to cut when it is appropriate, obviously. But the odds are high. But just because the odds are high, that does not mean it's guaranteed by any means. But I am looking for this little miniature bull channel right here. And I know it's weird to call it a bull channel, but when you have lower highs and lower lows, it is called a bull channel. And the reason it's called a bull channel is because they commonly break to the upside. That's where they get their name from. But the tricky part about trading them is you don't know how long they're going to build out because, I mean, it's not like there's a rule. Like, you can have lower highs and lower lows for 5 minutes, 30 minutes, hours, days. It's an unknown time frame. That's why you're just kind of sitting there watching, waiting. And then for me personally, I just keep double checking it with the options flow to see what's going on. What was the high of the day? 28, which means that Captain Condor didn't even get tested. The upper interesting level of the day, the target would be 6,140, and then the lower level support would be 6,090. So that's what I'd be watching. But really, the move, it is picking up right here. We're starting to see some signs of life in the options flow and also in price right here. This is the opportunity. So remember, the quality of a decision can only be graded on the information you have at that moment in time. You never know what's going to be happening next. Obviously, we could break out and rip, we could push a little and get smacked, or it could just be a complete fake out and we get smacked from there, because you don't know what the next traders are going to do. Are they going to keep pushing the delta higher and the price higher, or are they going to use a little pop to buy a bunch of puts? That's obviously a potential thing, which is why you should never be betting your entire account on like one particular idea. But in terms of risk and reward and decision making, I'll call this out now. 1037, I think right now is the dip buy opportunity of the day with respect to the SPY and the Qs, because you have well-defined risk. So if you are wrong, you're not going to lose much. But then if you're right, you might be able to ride this puppy all the way back to the intraday high. So no promises on if this individual trade works out, but this type of a setup, if you did it time and time again, you would be net profitable, which means that the major thing here is now that you understand the setup, you just have to have the appropriate bet sizing to be able to withstand any variance like we might be seeing now. And our options getting, yeah, someone's selling on the Mag 7 right here. Let's see if this can bottom quickly though, because we're still kind of getting a nice uptrend. So what are they actually selling? They're selling their calls and buying a little bit of puts starting at 1037. So just waiting to see how aggressive this is. Not really that much change to the puts. It's more of some people are dumping their calls. It's a small amount, but it's enough to make this look a little bit wonky. So if this can stabilize, if these call sellers can stop, and if ideally if call buyers step in and if puts start getting sold, that's what you're looking for. Even this on the S&P 500, what do we have? Some puts got closed out, so they're monetizing their profits. Calls are staying kind of constant, actually. Not that many calls got sold. So I would just be caught. This is all I would do. I just keep watching this structure to wait to see if we can get that higher low. And then that would be my personal exact opportunity. Now, am I going to take that trade? No, because I already locked in my 20,000 on futures. So I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I might do more stuff on Vanquish. Speaking of that, we should probably do the Payday Friday giveaway. Remember on Vanquish, if you use the code Goonie, not only do you get 10% off, make sure you're applying it right here in the checkout, but you're also going to get a free reset. So if you don't pass the test, like I said, you get a free reset. So Vanquish is pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, but it's about that time that we give away some stuff. We're going to give away some cold hard cash, and we're going to also give away some of those Vanquish accounts. It looks like 114 of you have already figured out how to enter your name on locals. Fear not. You still have time to do that, but in the meantime, we will be picking a competitor off of Rumble and off of YouTube. So if you've been here before, you know how it's going to go down, but if this is your first time stopping by, let me explain this to you. We'll start with YouTube because I believe I already have Nightbot set up. So what we're going to do is it's not going yet. It's going to be a random number between 1 and 150. And if you are currently in YouTube chat, all you have to do is guess the right number. You just type it in, and whoever's the first person to guess it will be the winner. So we are going to be running this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're off to the races. Who's going to be representing the red land of YouTube? Remember, it's a number between 1 and 150, including those two bounds. So who is it going to be? Who? It looks like it was Benz, and the answer was 21. 21 was the answer. Benz, please comment your Twitter handle. Do not use the @ symbol. Please comment your Twitter handle. Do not use the @ symbol because it will not show up. Your Twitter handle, please. And you could actually even tag Chaos to get your contact information. The only reason I'm asking for it is because if you are the winner, we need a way to contact you to get you your money. But BENDZ, Benz. Please tell us how to get a hold of you. Please in chat, tag Chaos. Tag Chaos. And speaking of that, random number generator. Now we need to pick someone from Rumble. If you're in Rumble, you know what to do. Comment in a flurry. Generate 24. If you are on Rumble right now, just comment. Oops. And we're going to get you. We're going to find out who the random guy is. Or gal. All right. Let me pause that for a second. All right. So the random number generator told us number 24. So we're going to go for the 24th comment past Spartan Honk. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Wyoming Upland Outfitters. That's way too long, so we'll call you WUO. WUO. Wyoming Upland Outfitters. You are representing Rumble. So Benz is representing YouTube. Rumble is going to be represented by Wyoming Upland Outfitters. And then that means we have to pick our competitors from locals. And how many comments were there? 127. So let's get our 3 people from there. All right. 72. We have 113. And we have 94. All right, 72, 94, and 113. All right, we don't need that, which means, all right, are we good? Okay, 127. Okay, so every page is 25. So that's 25, which means the bottom of the second page is 50, which means the bottom of the third page is, gotta let it load. Come on. You guys commented a lot. It means that this person is chaos. You're 75, 74, 73, 72. Warm apple pie. So pie, you are representing it. All right, let's go and get our next person. Once again, each page is 25, which means the bottom of this page is going to be 100. If it loads, come on. A lot of you commented on this. So this is 100, which means 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94. Pat Gallagher. Pat. And then our last person, the answer was 113. 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oop, double. 10, 11, 12, 13. James is the name. All right, so we have our competitors. Oops. All right. Let's get the game up and going right here. Now we got to load our people in. Oops. I didn't back. Discard and exit. Race. This is the settings I need. All right. Representing the red land of YouTube, we have Benz. Representing the green land of Rumble, you have Wyoming. WUO. Wyoming for short. Then we have Pi. Then we have Pat. Then we have James. All right, those are our 5 competitors. Finish. To keep it fair, we're going to do a random map. Random bots. Looks like, what is this one? Taking flight number 2. Taking flight number 2. All right. We're getting ready for this one. This bad mamma jamma. I just want to make sure you guys can see all this, hear all this. Why in the world? Okay. We're very far away. Can you guys see this? Okay. Yeah, it is up. Sorry. My screen was a little bit behind. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, we have 5 of the fastest racers ever known to man. Not only are they putting their bragging rights on their line, the ego on their line, not only are they going for cold, hard cash, winner takes all, prison rules, but they are going for glory. Absolute glory, putting their life on the line. I am pleased to report that in the last race, there were no fatalities, but in the races before that, there happened to actually be a lot. So I want you to know that this sometimes does end in bloody gore. So let's hope that doesn't happen today. Let's hope that we have a good race. But once again, all that matters is being the first racer to cross the line. We have not been on this map before, so it should be a pretty exciting one. So please stand up and enjoy the race. Join me in cheering on our fastest racers. Representing YouTube, we have Benz. Representing Rumble, we have WUO. Representing locals, we have Pi, Pat, and James. Once again, this is Prison Rules. Winner takes all. We are going in 3, 2, 1. And we are off. Pat with a good shot at getting good drop, but Pi shooting ahead. We have Pi, first one off the board, followed by WUO. Benz, James, and Pat are there. Pi picks the right path. WUO picks left. James is indecisive. Pat breaks right. Benz breaks left. Who is going to make it, folks? We have quite the pathway. Pi is in the lead while WUO and Benz are doing their other thing on the other side of the map. Here we go. What is Pi doing? What is Pat doing? James trying to follow Pat, make up some ground, but Pi is leading the right side of the map. And then if we jump over to the other, we have WUO leading Benz. Right here, it is these two on the west side of the map, and they are both looking to get a fast drop to once again take flight. We're going to find out who these winners are. It looks like Pi and WUO are actually both getting very similar drops. Pi is the first one out, followed by Pat, and in third place we have WUO. Will they be able to catch up to Pi, who is clearly leading this, hugging the left path? This is an interesting technique. Where are we going? Oh my lord! Hello? What is this map? What's happening? Pi just literally stopped for no reason, folks. Pat's kept. What is James doing? Where did James come from? What was this race? What in the world is going on? Are we in the high heavens? James making a massive jump. No one saw it coming, and he wins. James wins. Just a late second, massive rip, taking a flight, skips over everyone. Pat was slowed down, so he just literally stuck in mud. Comes in second, followed by Pi. We have Benz coming in last, and WUO coming in fourth. What was this race? Jesse James winning it. James literally we looked up on the map, he just must have leaped over everyone. What a competitor. What a competitor. Obviously, James, I will be reaching out to you. That was insane. James, make sure you check on your email or your Discord messages today so I could get your information to send you money. We have not seen this map. I was not prepared for what was happening. They are not kidding around by any means when they are saying that our racers will be taking flight, because they did, and maybe taking enough flight to get the market to turn around. But it looks like Rumble has already been taking flight. The biggest gainer on my watch list, followed by Palantir, and even Coin's looking pretty good too. So we do have some nice green options, and it does look like the SPY and the Qs are maybe finding their bottom. Let me switch over to this just so we can see it a little bit more clearly. Yeah, options clearly started pumping. Okay, this is it. I called out 1037 before. It looks like I was a 2 minutes too early. I do think now, I'm just reading this. Look at that huge pop. What you would want is maybe the Mag 7 to stop vomiting. The Mag 7 is still taking a hit, kind of going the opposite way here. So that's not what I would want to see. I want to see some of these buyers step in, but the S&P 500 is clearly getting aggressive to the upside, starting right at 1046. So I just wanted to show that to you. But congratulations to James, and obviously a round of applause for Benz, WO, Pi, and Pat for all being fierce competitors. That was an interesting map, to say the least. It was a very, very interesting map. We're going to have to watch some replays on that. Obviously, we will be testing all competitors for any illicit drug use or lack of it, because obviously we want our competitors to be taking this seriously. So we want to make sure that there are, in fact, steroids in all their systems and other performance-enhancing drugs, because why would we want to watch them if they are not putting their entire body and physical health and mental health on the line? Like, we want the real competitors. So as of now, congrats to James, but everything will be clarified after we ensure that he is, in fact, on performance-enhancing drugs. That's obviously what we want to see. Folks, is this the recovery? Is this what we're leading to? Oh, by the way, obviously pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Shout out to Vanquish. They are the Payday Friday sponsor, as they have been for months now. This is the best place to do sim defunded options trading. I know many of you are interested in it when you see me trading futures, but some of you just don't want to trade futures, and that's completely understandable. I understand that options are way more popular. So the best way to do sim defunded trading with options is Vanquish. Remember, if you use that code Goonie, you get 10% off and a free reset. Once again, GOONIE not only gets you 10% off, remember to add it to your cart on the checkout, apply that coupon, but you're also going to get the free reset. So use that code Goonie, show Vanquish a bit of love. And like I said, if you were looking to basically trade with someone else's money in the options market, from all of my research right now, Vanquish is not just the best, it is the best by a mile. Matt, second story time. Thank you for that reminder. I knew I was going to completely forget. So obviously we started off today's show with one crazy story related to the panther that I live with in my studio here. The other story relates to my barber, which no one even congratulated me on getting a haircut yesterday, which is a little bit fucked up because I thought we were friends. But anyway, I went to the barber yesterday, and right when I got there, they're like, hey, your normal barber's not here today. And I was like, well, that's a little weird. Is he like, all right? And they're like, well, something interesting happened last week. I was like, oh, drama. I love barber-based drama. Please tell me more. My barber he doesn't hide the fact that he's a degenerate gambler, and he really enjoys playing slots on his phone. Obviously there's many casino apps right now, and that's what he does. Like when he's cutting hair and everything, and he'll do once in a while, do some sports betting and whatnot, but he really enjoys playing virtual slots on his phone. So as it was told to me, last Wednesday, there was a new individual slots game released on the casino app that he uses, and he noticed that he was just winning all of the time. Like he came in early to work to explain to the other barber that he was up $400,000 that morning. As in, like, there was something a little bit funky. Like, it was too easy to win it. So they were there Wednesday morning just playing slots, and he came in. He's like, yo, I'm up 400 grand. And the other barber's like, shut up, dude. Like, you're so full of shit. You're just basically making up this, like, you're a liar. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, like, something's up with this game. You should play it right now. So the second barber got on it, folks, I shit you not, they showed it to me. They showed me their phones. They showed me their bank accounts. The first guy playing, the game did not kick him off. He did not lose his account until he was up $1.6 million. And the other barber, they didn't kick him off until he made $1.1 million. My barbershop, both barbers won over $1 million last Wednesday. Then they had to talk with them because obviously something was messed up and they held the funds. So they released the funds to them this weekend, and it was in their bank accounts. I saw their money in their bank accounts. That one guy made $1.6 million. The other guy made $1.1 million. So they thought it was like pure luck. And I was like, no, obviously it was a corrupt game. Like, the code was bad. Like, statistically, it's impossible to win that much. And even if you do, the fact that another guy could hop in at the exact same time. So something was like clearly fucked with their code, but that's still legally on them. They paid them out. One dude made, like, my main barber made $1.6 million. The other barber made $1.1 million. Absolutely crazy. Doing the most degenerate thing. Dude, no one is a net winner in the long term playing slots. Like, slots are the worst thing you could do at the casino with respect to odds. Are they still your barbers? No, the one guy was sick yesterday, the guy who won more. So they kept joking that he was halfway to Colombia. But the other guy, who's a bit younger, he's actually doing the smart thing. He's like, nope, I have a 1-year-old. I'm opening a 529. I want to invest all this money into a high yield account, and then I'm going to figure out like where I should actually put the money. So the one guy is being like really, really smart about it. Like, he's doing exactly what you should do. And like everyone else he's like, dude, I think my gambling days are behind me. Like, what's the point? If you're like a sports bettor or slots player, dude, once you won $1 million, like you're out. You are done. So that guy, he's like, yeah, I think I'm just like never going to gamble again. And just like, talk about the luck of people. Like, I think it's more lucky to catch a lucky break like that with bad code on an app playing slots than it is to actually win on slots. Like, it's just so wild. So wild. Did you tell these guys about Apex accounts? No. I told them what they should do. If they have kids, start a 529 for them and their wife. They should be getting an overfunded whole life insurance policy for all of them, for them, their wife, their kids, tax shelter it, and just invest in the overall market. Picking individual stocks, especially for people who are like not caring about following the markets day to day. I was like, dude, first of all, you're going to have to pay like 40% on taxes on this. So like remind, like, as they need to know that they don't get all the money, and past that, just put it into the market. Teach them to trade. No, dude, at that point, they already did what you want to do as a trader. They made the $1 million. They're already there. Like, there's no point in them gambling. There's no point in them trading. They should just literally, in whatever they feel is best, find the most favorable tax sheltered account, put the money in that tax sheltered account, and just let it grow in the S&P 500. That's it. Like, that's absolutely it. We're all here doing degenerate things to attempt to pull off that $1 million. Is the one free Discord month limited time promotion, or is it always there? It's limited in terms of the price, because the price goes up. So whenever you choose to sign up, you're going to get the free month, but it locks you in at that current monthly rate. So when the prices do go up, and I raise the prices every handful of months, you're going to be locked in at the cheaper price, to answer your question, David. So like right now, there's a lot of people locked in at prices that are way cheaper now because they got in early, and it's my way of saying thank you to people as I like got this up and running. So the prices will continue to go higher and higher and higher because the resources charge me more. So they're going to just keep going up, but to lock it in, yeah, you'll lock it in by using the free month now. So like, that's how it works. The issue here, the SPY tried to get going at 9:45, but the Mag 7 selling has not stopped. This right here is the problem of why we're not popping off, is because the Mag 7 is still getting hit in the options market. The SPY tried to get going. It had a nice pump up till 1050, and now that's even fading. So if you're looking to buy the dip, you kind of have to just be patient enough to watch the Mag 7. This is messy. Hey, Matt, for people who can't find the Discord link, it only shows on, doesn't show on mobile. Just go to, it's just mattkohrs.locals.com. mattkohrs.locals.com. Like, that's it. It just brings you here. I mean, it does show it. You just have to find the comment. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. That's not how YouTube works. YouTube doesn't hide stuff from mobile users that it shows to PC users. You literally just have to go click on the description. So I don't know where you're getting that, but that's not right. Just click on the description. It does not matter if you're mobile. It does not matter if you're PC. It's all in the description. I am 100% sure it shows up on mobile. I've seen it on mobile. I've used it myself. I know everyone uses it. YouTube does not hide stuff from mobile users that it shows to PC users. You literally just have to expand the description and you'll see it there. You're talking on locals? It's definitely there on locals. It's the pinned message right here. Welcome. Read this to get into the Goonie Trading Discord. You just go to the pinned messages. So I don't think you're talking about YouTube. I think you're talking about locals. Go to the pinned messages, find this pinned message, and the link is right there. Sometimes I can't find shit on TV, YouTube. It's there, but that's kind of a pain in the butt because then how do you click on the links of the TV? But folks, you could also just go to mattkohrs.locals.com. mattkohrs.locals. Here, I'll put it. If you guys are having a tough time, I'm spamming chat with it right now. Just click on that, mattkohrs.locals.com, right there, mattkohrs.locals.com. I'm spamming my own chat. That'll bring you here. If you need help, reach out to me. media@MatthewKohrs.com, or DM me on Discord, MMK147, and I'll personally help you. But once again, you can email me, media@MatthewKohrs.com, not Matt Kohrs, Matthew Kohrs, right here. It's on the screen. Or DM me on Discord, MMK147, and I will personally help you. This is my personal contact. So reach out to me on Discord, reach out to me on email, and if you're having an issue, I'll assist you. I'll assist you. A little bit of a bounce. Are options turning around? Nope, they are not. This bounce currently seems to be a bit of a fake out bounce. There was a flow alert right here that smashed the S&P 500. We are below. We're in the red on the SPY and the Qs. Meta's holding. Rum's looking great. Rum's up quite a bit. Palantir's looking great too. Coin's actually up 4%. MSTR is now up as well. So we have a mixed bag. The market was looking phenomenal until about 9:45. Now it's bleeding down, and Mag 7 seems to be the real problem here. Actually, I could show you probably better on the 30-second. Yeah, see how the delta keeps dropping? The price is not going to bounce around, turn around until we base, and then ideally pick up the way we almost started doing it right here at 10:30. We almost picked up, and we did, and then just someone decided to use it to, I guess, get the hell out. And that's kind of what we're seeing in the SPX too. Like, we saw a nice potential reversal, and then once again, that pop in price, people just used it to get smashed anyway. So thus far, we had a bullish opening for sure. And then since then, we've had lower highs and lower lows, not only in price, but even in the delta flow right here, lower highs, lower lows. So in the short term, as a scalp trader, you'd be wanting to ride this short until you see a change of trend in both price and in terms of delta. And actually, if we bring this up, the tech sector is looking a bit weaker. The 5-minute and the 10-minute, and even now the 30-minute might be breaking down. But what's interesting is the 5-minute and the 10-minute are breaking down on ES, but the 30-minute is holding. So we are getting that mixed message between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And as I've said a million times, and I'll say it a million more, I find these to be the worst environments to trade in, where you're just getting the mixed messages because you don't know who's right and who's wrong. One of these days, it's going to end up snapping back, and maybe the SPY breaks down and agrees with the NASDAQ, or maybe the NASDAQ pops and agrees with the SPY, but you just don't know. So right now, in the very short term, obviously ever since 10-ish, just with this vomit in options in the short term, the bears have control. But I wouldn't be chasing it down myself, and I'm not chasing it down because I see that there's still some strength in the SPY while there's weakness in the Qs, and I just simply don't know. And when I feel like these environments have worse odds, and when I have a bad odds setup, I just choose to not play. But I do want to remind you, even this, we got that fake out breakout once, twice. Now it just broke down. So I'm going to be watching this setup. There's going to be probably, let me get that back. There's going to be pretty decent support at 6,100, which is a whole 12 points below where we are. So that's like a bit of a reach. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be like intentionally targeting that. It's kind of a little too far away. And even this, like, yes, we're grinding down, but it's not like a clear sell-off. Honestly, today might just be a shot Friday. We know that the remainder of the week is going to be like incredibly busy, or next week is going to be incredibly busy. So today, the remainder of today, this move to the upside and this initial move to the downside might have been the two moves to play today. And from here, we might just be like kind of in a grind session. Absolutely a grind session. So that's what I'll be watching myself. And really, I'm just going to see, maybe we could turn around and pop like we did. I would just need to see bottoming in the options flow. And remember, the best way to track all that is spot gamma. So shout out to Vanquish for partnering up with us today. Use that code Goonie to get 10% off and a free reset pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you want to trade options with someone else's money, lowering your own risk, this is by far the best way to do it. By far. So if you're at the earlier portion of your trading career, or maybe you're just not as happy with the profit that you have, you might as well minimize the risk than your own trading account. Obviously, you could get in for far, far less and still trade with a sim to funded options. So that's what I have for you right now. I appreciate all the good vibes. Oh, wait. I messed something up. I think we just posted a new video. on the new channel. Yes, new channel's live. Here, I'll give it to you. So this video is up on Rumble. So if you're watching on Rumble right now, no worries whatsoever. But I'm spamming chat, the mods watching chat. This video just went live. So obviously, since it is a new channel, I am asking you for help just because you could see there's 331 subscribers. There's only 3 videos. I'm trying to get this evergreen, more educational channel off the ground. This is not for daily updates. This is not for live streaming. This is evergreen, basically trading related content that is intentionally meant to like stand the test of time and be viable whenever you want to watch it. So I just want to let you know the new video is live. I would truly appreciate it if you watch it, check it out, like it, comment. That type of engagement just really helps get the video to other people. I do think you're really going to like the video. I think it's a really good video. I think you're going to enjoy it. Like I said, if you're watching on Rumble, the video is where it normally is. I don't have multiple channels on Rumble. It's just the way the YouTube algorithm works now. At the turn of the year, they did switch it up a little bit. So if you are a YouTube viewer, I just want to let you know that this video is out. It's live, and I would obviously appreciate your support, especially if you enjoy a kind of a little bit of a different take on financial content over in this space. So I just want to let you know that it's up there. It's good to go. And on Rumble, you are not missing out. That's already there as well. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the week. I hope you made a bunch of money. I hope you make even more money today. Enjoy your weekend. We will be back on Monday, and next week is going to be absolutely insane. Every single day is going to have something going on. I am so incredibly excited. So I appreciate all the help, all the support. Love you all. I hope you crushed today, and I will catch you later. Peace